Hey, so things have been kind of bad, in my mind lately. Started, started the day before yesterday, this Monday. We traveled last week. I traveled with my mom and my grandma so they could get, their visa. And the travel was alright. Actually, it was better than alright. I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. So it was actually pretty good that it turned out better than okay. And then before that, I've been struggling with a lot of things, in my mind lately, and it's just like my mind had made things worse, and that's kind of like the norm. There are times when that doesn't happen, but usually it does. So that's kind of my reality. And basically, since I had the manic episode at the beginning of last month, I've been eating more than usual, and like not just it's normal for I have issues with compulsion. So for eating to be part of like how my mania, how my depression manifests. So like that is kind of like normal. But I've been noticing that eating has become kind of like a crutch for me. Like when I'm not feeling so good, I've been resorting to eating. Not just like eating in general, like eating nice things that I like to eat. And that's pretty much what's gonna happen right now. I'm gonna go and take a ride with my dad. He's gonna drop off my brother, and then he's going to go back to work, and he's gonna drop me off at the mall, the mall that I have like near here. And I'm gonna have a nice lunch. I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna look at sweets, I'm gonna look at dessert, and that is going to kind of like fortify me. I don't know if that's the word I was going to use. But like I kind of like been thinking about this. Last week it was about like the things that I ate, the things that I bought, and what I've been eating, and like that's also been very helpful for me, because it feels like it doesn't, not that it feels like, but like there's two paths when it comes to like where my mind is at, and and fantasies. You have like those like out there, megalomaniac fantasies that I have. And that's kind of like what happened, Monday. It kind of, the fantasy I was having for, like that month, it came to an end. And without it, I was feeling very, kind of like lost, you could say. Just like nothing, felt the same. Nothing felt good. Nothing was, kind of like giving me resentfully. I was, in this limbo where, I had kind of like nothing, because the things that I wanted, they were kind of like impractical and unlikely. And I feel like I'm being generous saying that they were impractical and unlikely, because they were very, very, very much out there. Not in a way that, like nothing that like I've actually, worked towards. They were just completely not random, because there's been a pattern here. So like it's been almost a year that I've been having a certain type of fantasy, a fantasy that involves a certain occupation for me. So it's not like random anymore. It is very much based on something. I don't know what that is. It just came out of nowhere, and I decided that like that is going to be the thing for me. And oh yeah, I got my little orange notepad. I wrote on it today, and I think that is really helpful, because I just have all these feelings, they're all concentrated in my mind, and I'm not really and they're all there, and they're just all very toxic, and they don't really get anywhere. So writing them down like is being very helpful. But what I was going to say is that I have those fantasies, and I have like the more regular fantasies. They're still like unlikely, because I do not have the financial resources for me to just make them all come true. But they all have to do with food, like me going, as I said, grocery shopping and just buying everything I want. Me going like every day to like a certain restaurant that I like, like having like dinner and lunch and dinner there. And I don't have, as I said, I don't have the resources to make them all come true, but like they're kind of like more grounded in reality. And maybe if I just save some money, but that's the thing, because I don't want them to for me to have like a week where I do this. I want that to be my reality, to the point that the fantasy is no longer appealing to me, because it's just so doable. But that's not where I am at, and I don't know how to make that the case. It just feels like I'm just drifting apart, through life. And I was doing okay. Last week I went to my psychiatrist, and everything was kind of like regular, because everything was regulated. And then this Monday I woke up, and I was kind of like just drifting away from like the shore, you could say, metaphorically. And I was kind of like contemplating the end once again. Things were affecting me more, and the things that I had that were kind of like they were my safety net, like they only last so long. So like today, this week, I am in this safety net, that it is good, but you know it's going to end, and I don't know what's gonna happen then. I don't know where my mind will be, but well, that's that. We're gonna probably leaving. I'm gonna wrap this up. But yeah, but since Monday, I've been feeling kind of like empty and lost, because you know the only guidance I have in my head, it's not possible. It's not possible because I mean, like, I think you could start anything, but it's just like I don't want to start. I want that result, and it's very likely that like the result I want, what I'm like looking forward to, what I'm seeking in this fantasies, is not realistic. It's not just to like do that thing. It's to kind of like be so excellent in it, that like it stands out. And like I have no reason to believe, because that's kind of like what happens every once in a while. I have a little reality shock, and like, how would I make that happen? How would, like, because I have like the bottom line where I want, but there's no indication in what I have going on that like I would actually grow into that. And as I said, I don't want just to do the thing. The thing is kind of like the means to which I'm gonna find something. I don't know. But yeah, but at least I have my safety nets for the time being, and I'm not gonna think about the future right now. I'm gonna just enjoy the moment, and when the time comes, and we're gonna figure it out when it happens. Anyways, bye.